So here we are in week three. Quite strange, really. Week three for me. I know it's different for other people. Some have been in isolation less time. Maybe some have been in more. A lot to get our heads round. The pace of life has definitely slowed down, I guess, for a lot of us. Not for all of us, I understand, but for a lot of us, life probably has slowed down. Different interactions with loved ones, hugging computer screens now and blowing kisses from a distance seems to be the new way to interact. Yeah, it's very strange. But one of the things I've really kind of want to draw your attention to is, I've really dawned on me how beautiful humans can be at these sort of times. And I know we can hear the horror stories, but there's a hell of a lot of good stories out there, and often ones we don't hear about. And we're going to give you one example. I was running short on milk, bread and a bit of beer. So I rung the local off licence, which is maybe half a mile away, and explained my problem that we're currently in isolation at the moment. And could they help at all? And he said, I've got some beer I can help you with. He said, but we haven't got milk and bread. He said, I'll tell you what. He said, I finish in 20 minutes. He said, in 20 minutes time, I'll give you a ring. Give us your number and then we'll sort it out. So in 20 minutes he rung back, good to his word, and went off and did a little shop for me, which kind of blew my mind. I thought, blimey, he didn't know me from Adam, and he went off to 2 or 3 shops to get the bits I needed, which was really kind of quite moving, really. And then he opened up my boot, left the money for him. He placed the stuff in the boot. There was no contact. We kept our distance. So we observed all those rules, but it kind of blew my mind that a stranger had kind of gone out his way, and I guess I saw a bit of God in him. And I guess at these times, I don't know for yourself, but I've certainly found that during these times it makes you reflect on those loved ones in our lives who are sadly no longer with us. There's space to reflect, maybe space to grieve. And one of the things that got me thinking about was a lovely man called Ben Patterson. Ben was a lovely member of our congregation, Scottish man, heart of gold. Anytime I spent time in his house with him and his lovely wife Joan, I always felt at peace, and I often said to him that I kind of felt like I was there sat in the Lake District, being at peace with the world, and it was lovely. They always had time for me, and one of the things his wife was telling me when Ben sadly died was said Ben would always do the simple little things for people which often mattered the most. She gave me one example when he was repairing IT equipment at a local secondary school. And I thought it was really moving. He said he'd walk in there and the teacher would often say there's a problem with a computer, and 9 times out of 10 it would be that they hadn't turned it on at their wall, or they hadn't actually turned on the computer at all. And rather than Ben point out the mistake or make him look foolish, he'd say, bear with me, I'll have a look, you carry on teaching. And then he'll tend to mess about and pretend to be fixing it, and maybe 5 or 10 minutes later he says, I think I've sussed the problem. Then he'll just turn it on, and sure enough it'll work. And I thought that was lovely, and I think there's sometimes at times like these you see the best of humanity. But one of the things I wanted to share with you today was that in some ways people don't often have a kind of an image of God as one of friend, as one who walks by us at these difficult times. I just wanted to share, it's a sermon I preached recently, some words that a guy, Adrian Plass, put together about maybe the things God might ask us when it's our time to die. And let me share these with you now, if that's okay. God won't ask what kind of car you drove, but he'll ask how many people you drove who didn't have transportation. God won't ask about the size of your house, but he'll ask how many people did you welcome into your home. God won't ask about the clothes you had in your closet, but he'll ask how many others did you clothe. God won't ask how many material possessions you had, but he'll ask, did they dictate your life? God won't ask what your highest salary was, but he'll ask if you compromised your principles to obtain it. God won't ask how much money did you spend on yourself, but he'll ask how much did you give back to him? God won't ask how much overtime you worked, but he'll ask if your overtime was for yourself or for your family. God won't ask what your job title was, but he'll ask if you performed your job to the best of your ability. God won't ask what you did to help yourself, but he'll ask, what did you do to help others? God won't ask how many friends you had, but he'll ask, how many people to whom were you a friend? God won't ask what you did to protect your rights, but he'll ask, what did you do to protect the rights of others? God won't ask in what neighbourhood you lived, but he'll ask how you treated your neighbours. God won't ask about the colour of your skin, but he'll ask about the content of your character. God won't ask if his son loved you, but he'll ask if you loved his son.